Hi everyone, this is a short screencast for Independent Colleges Dublin for CIMA E2 for the November 2014 exam. And in this particular screencast, we're going to look at the post-completion audit for projects and project management and the project completion review, in effect, one and the same. Okay. Now, I'll draw your attention to question 6 on CIMA's website of September 2012. Or if you're using the BPP kit for 2014, I'll draw your attention to question 59b on page 25. Okay, so the area that we're looking at, as you can see from the requirement here, is project completion review. So you could also talk about sort of the completion audit or the post-completion audit. So we're asked to outline or discuss the importance of the review, and also in relation to this particular scenario, to provide any examples of how a review would have helped in this particular case. In this question, as ever with project management and indeed throughout E2, we're faced with a series of problems or a series of issues for a company, and we're really asked to apply our knowledge, our core knowledge of the perhaps the tools, techniques, or indeed models concerned, and really assess how they would have helped. Okay, so let's take a quick look through the scenario. In this particular case, we have L company. We're talking about a robotic painting system. I did do another video screencast of relating to Prince 2 earlier on, so hopefully you've watched that. Now, this particular company with the robotic system they've introduced a series of problems, as mentioned, not least the fact that it's been over budget and indeed reliability has been not up to scratch. Okay, as a result of this, various problems, including cars being delivered late, and also image or reputational issues for this particular company. We have a little bit of conflict between the project board and everyone else, including the project manager, and there's been a sort of a suggestion that the use of some sort of methodology would have helped in this particular case. Okay, as I say, I've covered part A in another screencast, so I'm going to take you through part B and the answer now. And in terms of a starting point for this completion review, or indeed post-completion audit, as ever, this first paragraph just tries to get in a basic sort of summary, a basic definition of what a project is, project review is. Well, really, what we're talking about there is really a chance for everyone who's involved in the project to really assess project performance. And, going back to the start of our studies on project management, the project is all about deliverables. There must be a set of deliverables, and they have got to be defined in terms of our triangle of time, cost, and quality. Okay, so really this project review is really perhaps a set of meetings, or indeed documented meetings, where all aspects of the project are going to be evaluated to see whether or not the deliverables have been met and the project has in effect achieved its objectives. Over and above that, and I guess linked to that, we'll be looking at the effectiveness of the project manager and the project team. Okay. Now, what is hoped that this review will do is, if the successes and failures of the project are documented, really what we're looking to do is to assist future projects. And that's really a key point in this area. And if you're answering a question on post-completion audit, or indeed, project completion review, you need to certainly make the point that the purpose of this review, or one of the purposes of this review, is to certainly reinforce good skills and behaviors, but also identify areas for improvement, or indeed, as they say, change that will affect future products. We're looking to learn from the lessons that have been made. Okay. In addition to that, I guess this paragraph here is more in line with how it's done and or what it creates really for team members. And certainly we're looking to assess team members' performance, but I guess to some extent it will give team members a chance to discuss their involvement in the particular project. It may well be that team members are unhappy with other team members, or perhaps team members are unhappy with the board or indeed the PM. So it gives them a chance to put things down on paper or to voice their concerns. The other side of it here, I guess this is a sort of a gimme in some senses, is that we need to establish from the sort of client's perspective, perhaps by contacting them, if their requirements have been satisfied. And certainly in this particular case, with the certain issues in relation to the quality of the cars that are being produced by the robotic system, it may well be that in all, deliverables have not been fully met because the quality is not up to standard. Okay, we're certainly concerned that any mistakes or issues or inefficiency are not sort of carried forward to future projects. Now you'll see here this paragraph, and it's very much a little bit of repetition. You'll find this within the CIMA answers. To some extent, I think some of the BPP answers are more or better structured. Certain amount of repetition here. We're referring back to the business case, and again that deals with, as we know, sort of deliverables and benefits, and where they're really reiterating that the plan has to deliver as outlined within the original PID or the original project plan. Okay. Now, in terms of sort of examples, we deal a little bit here with examples. What we want to know from the robotic system, we're asked for examples within the requirement B, is certainly whether or not quality has been achieved, and whether or not the system really produces not only what we've asked it to produce this time around, but also whether or not it can produce on an ongoing basis. And it may well be that the system itself is not problematic. It's just the inputs into the system in this particular case. And the specific word that they use or phrase that they use there is whether or not the system is fit for purpose. Yeah, and bearing in mind that this the quality is a CSF. Certainly, the reliability of the system is an important part of this completion review. Okay. Next point here is in relation to cost. Again, we touched on that, and we touched on the iron triangle above. We need to identify reasons why there has been or have been overruns in terms of costs, and we need to learn lessons in that respect, and obviously detail any sort of actions for follow-up. Okay. Final sort of paragraph here is really just this idea of that the document itself or the post-completion audit and the issues pertaining to it will be sort of circulated throughout the organization. So really, where there are other projects in the future, and certainly there will be, we're looking for the people involved to learn from the mistakes, take those lessons on board and to improve. Okay. One of the key things, obviously, in this particular question, because a methodology wasn't used as such, is the idea of something firm and concrete like Prince2, and making that the sort of the bones of the project management process, and should they do that, then certainly some of the issues that they've experienced would not occur for sure. Okay, I hope that that's helpful, and good luck with your studies. Cheers, bye.